everyone wants to get rich.
Woke up in a mode of being rich.
When your fingers are itching, it's hard to
write a number.
1 million.
And you know you're going to be rich.
But we want to find out, yes, everyone gets rich, but how do people get rich in this city, in this country? You might have a dream of being like Bill Gates or Donald Trump.
But you're only in bed dreaming, still sleeping.
How do you get there? We're going to find out. And the people of Chisas, life
is the first of richness. That's what I think. Then when I have life, I can do some other things and get rich. Now, for example, I'm going for work.
What's the quickest way to get rich, you as a woman?
Get a rich husband.
You work.
Liar. Get a rich husband. What are some of those ways someone can get rich?
For starters, you don't need to minimize jobs. Like for your case, someone can say, hey, how can I be a conductor?
How can she be a conductor?
Yet you're all the way from Kabale.
Yeah, you know, come and hustle.
Yeah, so that's the main thing. If you take any job seriously, you get a reward.
But one sure way to get rich is become a pastor.
Pastor.
One more to Agira. If you want to get rich, book a pastor.
Why are you refusing?
So become a pastor.
Why are you saying when you're a pastor you can't be rich? When all the pastors we know are rich.
As in, not everyone is actually thinking in lines of they're supposed to give back to community, serve God, but what happens today is I think it's different. But we don't have to judge them.
Jagala, I think to focus on both, ways. They are genuine ways people earn money. Then
Shortcuts.
Shortcuts.
What's shortcuts to getting rich?
Getting rich, actually, a shortcut. It's like somebody. An example, this is people in the government.
Tell them, don't fear.
Actually, they just send money. You just take that money to Jesus. What me? Just go and buy a land somewhere. Build these good houses.
Shortcut, yet they've worked their way to earn the trust of those who are in government.
And even earn your trust and even elect them.
We elect them, but
that's not a shortcut.
No, we give them trust. We give them trust.
So what other things do people do to
Some
get
people
rich?
go for lottery. You go to the casino and try out your luck.
I think I would like to see an example where you are lottery.
Get together on our way.
Hey.
Any other pathways? The tricky stars.
Akusanga mu kkubo oba akukubira essimu. I don't know where they get that phone numbers. Nakukubira n'agamba nti no nze ndi wano nyine emmaali y'okuva ebweru gundi agikuweereza. I'm making sure amanyi omuntu ali ebweru. Nakukubira kati jangu wano nkole ki ofune emmaali yo.
We want to find some. I want to call them illegal ways, unofficial ways of getting the ones that we see that are unofficial.
Okay, I have one.
Yes.
Yesterday in the papers, I think even over the news, the MPs were talking about prostitution, something about legalizing it and not legalizing.
Right.
So I believe, like some of the big hotels, they have these ladies who go on there for that top people, So they get money through prostitution, and that's very dubious to me. I think it's not a right way of getting money.
Okay, so they'll sell sex to get money, and they've been successful.
Yes, some go down.
Munyanja.
To mine body or oil.
Munyanja, I hear.
But how true is that?
I don't know.
Others do what?
But someone gets rich, tava koaka, that is funded. Where does the money come from? You also wonder.
That's a very good. That's exactly what we're asking you. Investing
there are some businesses over some abroad.
But some of them, they just con people. They try to engage you in a certain business, convince you that they are partners, then you throw your money there. At the end of it, they siphon that money without your knowledge. By the time you realize, your money is gone.
Right. We've had reports of people doing of having child sacrifice. I'm still yet to understand how that works. How can you sacrifice a child? No funa sent.
Like there are some categories of people who believe like when you're putting up a huge construction, it's kind of a blessing.
A ritual.
A ritual. Like you have to circumcise, you have to sacrifice a kid. Is it the face, the head, or something? And you find that the people who are always putting up these huge buildings are the rich, and then they get in touch with these people who can help them get these innocent kids, ambush them, and then they go and sacrifice them.
Legal ways and illegal ways. But here is Pastor Joseph Serwanda again to Samingira up on Lamaguru to Abunab nailing it down to the TV.
People do not know that there is only one way to become rich. The other ways that are available for any common regular human being are not worthy him. The first way to get rich is to steal. The second way to get rich is to beg. The third way is to be an heir to somebody. So you take stuff in succession. Then the last one, which I believe is a complicated one, is to work. When people fail in the area of work, then they do the rest of the stuff that you don't want to hear about. One, witchcraft. People will go to any extent. Big people will undress before a drunken, dirty, filth, stinking man or woman that tells them that because he spit on this concoction or this little thing that they've mixed around, that they'll get rich.
Kugagawala Katonda ya kugaba naye ng'olina okuteekamu naawe okubanga okekkereza akatono ako k'okola ki k'oba ofuna.
God wants you to be rich, but God does not want you to use evil means to become rich, because there are other ways that make people rich. One of them is work. You must work when it is still day. That is an expression Jesus used, meaning when you have the opportunity to work, do not slacken on your hands. Hard work pays. Work hard. Forget the thing they call 9 to 5, working 8 hours a day and then feeling like you've sweated enough, I need a rest. You will rest in that coffin if you want, and it will be for a long, long time. It is only in this country that there are no salaries and wages and stuff. But in other nations where work is respected, every type of work pays well. And I believe that if that discipline came here, we would be able to see a people working and working overtime. It doesn't kill to work overtime.
Mumuwulidde Pastor Joseph yagamba mbu waliwo ways ezimu osobola okubba osobola ogenda mu witchcraft. Abimenyemenya abikuwadde.
Some professions are a straight way to being rich. Like you very sure if you become this particular person in future, you will be rich.
Yes, that's true.
What like part?
For example, let me tell you, but doctors will make up a DBA. And if he's really good at his work, he's not going to sleep hungry. But there are people who have studied some courses and they've never gotten jobs. Yes.
Like we are told that when you get to campus and you do BA ads, you'll be around. Okay, so definitely we know doctors.
Yeah.
Kati, tutunulile the genuine, ways.
Yeah.
We encourage people that you can actually work right,
Yeah.
or do this right and get the wealth that you desire.
Exactly.
Yes.
Another thing is,
Yes.
some people, it depends on what you do during your spare time. If you on your spare time you just go and drink, you are spending your money. But if you go and invest it in a smaller thing, some people invest in Kabalagala, some people invest in shops, smaller shops. Now, when you work on it for many years, you find you gain.
Yes, I think we should begin thinking like entrepreneurs get into the entrepreneur world. Because most of us today have been like, you go to school, you're out of campus, the only thing you're thinking in your mind is how are they and how do I get a job? Do you even spend 3 years? Some people volunteer. But just if you had saved some little capital while at campus, or even talk to your parents, and you think of a business, there are so many. Now, like a case in point is this year, we have been having inflation for quite some time. It even shot up to 30%. But now look at entrepreneurs who have been buying produce from beginning of year. We even got alert messages on our phones telling us to stock food. People who have been stocking produce, they are now big, they are making huge money.
We can't exhaust everything in this show. It's a very short show. We just use 15 minutes of every section, but we have networks where you can go and complete the conversation. Write to us, minibuzuganda@gmail.com.
Or you can post your comments on our Facebook page, Minibuzz Uganda.
Or follow us on Twitter, Minibuzz Uganda. Go tubulire oba oyina oli mugagga ofuna otya akasente. Oba wagenda mu nnyanja tubulire ennyanja eyo gye
Which
mugenda
river exactly? Which
twalamukufe tukoze naye se tukiziwera tubulire and then contribute to the big conversation, the big change that is happening in this country.